Okay, so a rise in the percentage of all 18-year-olds who were recruited by the armed services of a small republic between 1980 and 1986 correlates with the rise of percentage of young people who dropped out of high school in the republic. Okay, so they're saying that the increase of these people going into army is correlated with those that dropped out of high school.
Mhm.
Since 18-year-olds in the republic are generally either high school graduates or high school dropouts, okay, false dichotomy here. No, it's a premise, so it has to be true. So we're saying like you either graduate or you drop out. The
Right.
correlation leads to the conclusion that the republic's recruitment rates for the 18-year-olds depend substantially on recruitment rates for high school dropouts. All right. So what kind of flaw is going on here?
So it's like correlation versus causation.
Causation, yes.
Yeah.
So we're trying to say that, that the recruitment rates for 18-year-olds depends on how many dropouts we get. So that's what we want to weaken.
Mhm.
And so we're trying to say that it doesn't depend on the dropout rates. What potential, this is a great one for what I'm thinking, like promoting an alternative explanation. That's where my head goes automatically. Where I'm thinking like maybe they recruit 18-year-olds, but they don't like start until after they graduate high school or something.
Right.
So
Right.
they finish high school.
So we're looking for something that would like bring in outside
Or
information.
maybe like between this time period, this country was at war. And so every age group was up at that time. Where now that they're not at war, it like doesn't depend upon that.
Right. Right.
All right, so go ahead and start with A and tell me love it, leave it, or hate it.
All right. A larger number of 18-year-old high school graduates were recruited for the Republic's armed services in 1886 and 1980. I'm gonna say hate it because it doesn't matter like how the numbers fluctuated throughout that time period. We don't have anything in the premises that would
A large
like
number of 18 a large number of were recruited for the Republic's armed service. A larger number of 18-year-olds were created. Yeah, like just that's like just saying like and what is larger? That could be like one person.
right. Yeah, it's vague and also like it just doesn't matter that time period. Like we don't have anything in the stimulus that would indicate that. So many of the high technology systems used by the Republic's armed services can be operated only by individuals who have competed or completed a high school education. Republic's recruitment. I'm gonna leave it for now.
Yeah, so I don't like this one. I'm okay with you leaving it, but I'm thinking like many, so like more than two. Like, okay, like what is many? High technology systems must be operated by people that have high school education. Just because like there's these things that you have to have a high school education doesn't necessarily mean that our recruitment doesn't depend upon dropouts. Like we could like I mean even think about our army today. Like there's people that definitely are like officers that go to officer school, but the mass majority of them aren't those people.
Right, like it could just be a few people that are operating these
Yeah.
things and that doesn't really affect overall trends.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So let's get rid of it. Once we break it down like that, I don't like it anymore. So between 1980 and 1986, the percentage of high school graduates among 18-year-olds recruited in the Republic rose sharply. That like would that weaken our argument?
I like that one because this is saying that the percentage, like while the percentage of 18-year-olds overall increased, of that percentage, the numbers that were graduates also increased.
Right. Right.
So I like C.
We're looking at percentages, which is
Yeah. So if we had like 100 people that joined last year, like let's say that 40 of them were dropouts and or no, let's say like 70 of them were dropouts and 30 of them were graduates, where maybe like in this time period now it's like 50-50.
right. Right.
even though the number of 18-year-olds overall increased. But it's still, it's saying that the number of graduates increased of that percentage, that total. So I like that, because if graduates increased, what had to have happened to dropouts percentage wise?
Right. Dropouts would have had to have decreased.
Decrease and percentage wise, yes.
Yeah,
Like the total number might increase, but a percentage of the whole, it was less.
Right. So that would weaken our overall inclusion. Okay, so let's just check out D and E just to see. Personnel of the Republic's armed services are strongly encouraged to finish their high school education. No, we don't care what they're strongly encouraged to do. The proportion of recruits who had completed at least 2 years of college education, we don't care about college education either. That's like outside the scope. So C makes sense.
Excellent.
Cool. Okay, that I feel better about that one.
Okay, what was the next one?
Yeah.